You have to sit down, your team loses a billion points, it's a disaster. Say, that's not gonna happen. Because you're gonna be very respectful. So from the moment you get it, I gotta turn my sound off or I'll break her face. Say, don't break her face. The moment you get it out of the case, to the moment you return it, this is how you'll carry it, the way it was intended. If this were authentic, it would be 5 to 7 feet tall, way taller than most colonial men who are shorter than I am. It'd weigh about 10 pounds, and it would have something sharp coming out of the top for hand-to-hand combat. Anyone know what that's called? Bayonet. A bayonet, good. A good battle gets a team 100 points and beyond, and an easy way to lose points is to not load your musket properly. So everybody take a knee. I'm going to show you the entire process that you have to go through before you fire your muskets. Rebels, you'll do this before you capture your Hessians. Yorktown students, you'll do this before the epic battle that ends the war, and you will certainly do it many times during Lexington and Concord. Here's what I have to see. Copy my motions. Reach into your little satchel, pull out one little packet with a musket ball and gunpowder, tear it open with your teeth, spit it out, because that makes me laugh. Put that in the musket. Now imagine I'm a young, like 17, 18-year-old soldier, and I'm waiting for my orders, and I go like this. What just happened to the musket ball? It fell out. So reload, everybody. Reach in, tear it open, spit it out. Nice, Alexa. Put that in there. The second step I have to see, take the ramrod off the side of the musket, and you have to smash the musket and gunpowder down nice and tight. All that work for how many shots? One. So let me see you load your musket properly from the beginning without any instruction. And then the ramrod. Now let's imagine you are ordered to fire. What do you have to do?
Aim.
Okay, that's cute. You aim, you fire, and then what? And then reload. Good, let me see you reload, because you just fired. Excellent. Okay, so make sure I see that during your battle, because I'm really consistent about knocking points off. If I see bang, 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 you're not going to do that. You're going to fire, you're going to load, you're going to fire, you're going to load. Thumbs up? Sweet. Those will be over there for you to gather. So take a seat. We have a few more things to talk about before we get to Lexington and Concord. We want to teach you a little bit about how you're going to behave during your battle. I know they're fun and it's exciting to practice that out on the playground and stuff, but when it's time to present them as a walkthrough, we want you to remember that you have the privilege of acting out a real piece of military history, and real people died during the battles you're going to bring. So we do ask that you leave the playfulness kind of aside and conduct yourself with a little bit of seriousness. Does that make sense to you? Yeah. Because we want to remember this is a real piece of history. We also know that there are men and women all around the world today who would march into battle to protect us and keep our country free, and we want to appreciate them as well. Can you raise your hand if we have any members of the military, active or retired, or anybody in your family that's in the military? We do have a veteran. A round of applause for the men and women, active and retired, who protect our freedoms. A round of applause, let's hear it. I do have a son who serves, and it is not an easy life, and so we kind of take a moment to honor their sacrifice as we act out our battles appropriately. You with me? Yeah. One more thing we have to do before we get to your battle. We have to see the flag that was flying over Lexington and Concord. It's the oldest flag in American history. Let's get Wesleyan and Liam to come down and hold the Bedford flag. What's it called? Bedford. Whose arm do you think that is coming out of the clouds? Just shout out some ideas. I don't care if you're wrong. Just give me some ideas. A knight? King George? Zeus, I love that one. Throw back to Greek mythology, why not? Love it. Hercules, okay, now we're really having fun with Greek gods. Or my favorite, I think it's to a guy named Vince, but no. To the Bedford army that designed this flag that represented the arm of God. They believed that God, not a king, was the giver of human rights, and they would help them reclaim their freedoms. The words are Latin. Repeat after me. Conquer, or die. Speaking to the militia minutemen's commitment. I have a horse, I have a flag, I need a rider. His name is? Paul Revere. A round of applause. Mr. Revere, have you arranged for 2 redcoats to capture you? Come on down, the 2 redcoats that are going to capture him. Here's what you'll do. You'll let him finish his speech, and when he leaves the flag, which is Lexington, to get back to Concord, as he's riding, that's when you capture him. So come on up, gentlemen. You're going to kind of sneak up on him, but let him finish his speech first. Mr. Revere.
Hello, my name is Paul Revere. I'm famous for riding a horse to warn the Midland. I, along with William Dawes and Samuel Prescott, spread the alarm that the British regular army was coming. The colonists armed themselves against the British troops and fought in the battles of Lexington and Concord. I was stopped by the British a few miles beyond Lexington and never made it to Concord.
And we're going to watch that action now. Mr. Revere, try to ride away. Hurry, capture him before he gets back. Oh, they take his horse and they haul him off to jail by his shoulder. Aw, nice work. A round of applause. Woohoo! That is the best Paul Revere I have heard in a long time. You hold on to that horse. You can use it in your battle. Nice work, gentlemen. 65 points goes to? Excellent work, Jacob. Can I get a Natalie B and Alexa? gather up the pieces of the colors so they can bring us the battles of Lexington and Concord. A round of applause for my flag holders. Thanks, you two. Head on back to your chair. Tories, go ahead and set up for your battle, which means you need muskets and bushes and all those fun things. And then I'll talk about the points in a moment. Ladies of the Rebel and Redcoat team, stand up. Just the ladies of the Rebels and the Redcoats, stand up. Ladies of the Rebel and Redcoats, go take a chair in the Tory seats, because this is going to be the audience. So come on down and take a seat. Gentlemen, you're going to fill in the rest of the chairs, or you're going to sit crisscross applesauce in front of the Tory chairs. So come on down. I think you three are okay there, but thank you, Isaiah. You're doing the right thing. Weston, come on down, my friend. Have a seat. I think you guys are good. Tories, look what I've done. I've created an audience for you, so make sure when you set up, you play. So gentlemen, stand up. Thank you, Emmanuel. You knew what you wanted to do. You just weren't sure. Follow your instincts, dude. Have a seat right there. Joseph, I think you're good. So behold your audience. Make sure you do not turn your backs to them. You do lose points if you turn your backs to the audience because it's rude. Say, don't be rude.
Don't be rude.
Okay, maybe if you had a little marching music, you'd be a little more enthusiastic. So to be clear, I feel like there should be a team on this side with their backs to that wall. Don't you agree? And a team here so that when you portray the action of the battle, it happens this way. So I'm a little confused on why we're not more like two separate armies. Are you a redcoat or a bush? Oh, you're the narrator. You get the microphone. You stand right here. There we go. That's how you're going to do it. And of course, you're going to load your muskets properly, right? And if you fire your muskets, you're going to reload them, right? Nice job, Igor. Follow that example. The marching of the Redcoats onto Lexington and Concord. Do pay attention. I will ask a question after the program, after the narrator, so make sure you're listening so that you can get some points. Mr. Revere, here's a musket for you to use when you finish your daring midnight ride. All right, the first battles of the American Revolution. Give them a lights, camera, action. 1, 2, 3.
Lights, camera, action.
Even though there had been some Americans killed in the Boston Massacre 5 years earlier, the battles of Lexington and Concord were the first battles of the American Revolution. The battles happened on April 19, 1775. The British were planning on arresting Samuel Adams and John Hancock in Lexington. Paul Revere rode his horse to warn the town that the regular British army was marching into the area.
The regulars are out, the regulars are out, the regulars are out, the regulars are out.
The Americans stood in a flat field to defend themselves.
Don't fire that fire
No one knows who fired the first shot.
Bang! Bang!
I've been hit.
Minutemen, retreat! Great victory!
8 Americans were killed and 10 others were wounded. Cut. The British continued to march on to Concord to destroy weapons and ammunition they believed were stored in the area. When the British arrived in Concord, another battle happened.
Bang! Bang! Bang!
The Americans were defeating the British regulars.
Retreat!
Yeah, hooray!
Victory!
The British had to retreat about 16 miles back to Charlestown. By the time they reached Charlestown, 73 British soldiers were killed, 174 wounded, and 26 others were missing. The Battle of Concord later became known as the shot heard round the world.
Excellent job, Tories. You're going to be very happy with your battle points. Nice work. Let me ask a question for points while they clean up their muskets. Very well done, all of you. So go ahead and clean up your muskets and your bushes, and I have a question for points for a Tory, for a rebel or a redcoat only. Great job, narrator. Can I get a quick round of applause for this amazing lady? Memorizing the battle scene. Nice work. Here's the question. What was the Battle of Concord later called? Nice. Lulu, you want to give it a try? That's all right. You were brave. You have some brave teammates. Shall I go with the redcoat or a rebel? I guess a redcoat. in a complete sentence, please. I think you guys should do it all together. That would be fun. So into the microphone, one voice. What was the Battle of Concord later called?
The Battle of Concord was later called the Battle of
A good guess. You had a beautiful complete sentence. If you were listening to the narrator, you would have heard her. Any rebels want to take a turn? Good job, Noani. You guys gave her a beautiful sentence to start with. What was the Battle of Concord later called?
The shot heard round the world.
Well, if I combine your complete sentence with your correct answer, that'd be 10 points for both teams. So let's do that. 10 points for the rebels and the redcoats. Nice work. Head on back to your chairs. 10 points goes to... And take a bow, Tories. Let's get a round of applause for their battle scene. Awesome work. A round of applause for Camilla as Captain Parker. That was the way that line was meant to be delivered. A round of applause for Paul Revere and the whole team as they head on back and we'll talk about your points. Nice work. So a well-done battle can earn a team 100 points and then beyond, and then you can go down if you don't load your muskets properly. Excellent job with your muskets. You were very respectful. Your battle scenes were great. The American retreat scene was great. The British retreat scene was great. You memorized your battle, which is not what we expect or even request. You're allowed to just read it right off the script. It was perfect. You get 150 points for your battle. Nice job. 150 points goes to... And now, who remembers what to say and do when I ring the little bell? Not worksheets, it's... Oh, goody, worksheets. So you have about 2 or 3 minutes to fill in the top section on pre-war events. That's all you're doing is the top section. I think I said something about getting out of your chairs and huddling up and working as a team. The Tories were the first to do it. Good job, Tories. For your teamwork, 25 points. 25 points goes to... And now the rebels, 25 points goes to...
Yeah, you're right.
And the redcoats, 25 points goes to... Good job. So huddle up, work on 1 through 8, fill in the blanks, and then we'll review work.